This video brought to you by our Patreons. Please consider supporting this channel and joining our Patreons at patreon.com/NovaWing24.
Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday the 29th of November for another action-packed episode, and you know what? We need to have a chat. Right. Hi guys, how you doing? So we need to have a chat. So it's come to my attention, reading through some of your comments, that some viewers have been taking offense, perhaps, to the way I produce this video and some of the content and the way I present it to you guys. Most notably, there has been some discussion around how it seems that I've become excessively negative when presenting this program throughout the course of the last couple of months. Now, first off, I get it. I can see why some of you have begun to think that way. I get it. And quite frankly, yeah, I see it too. I absolutely do. And I want to let you know, I don't want to be that way. But the fact is that the torrent of rubbish that is being released to across the simulation world right now is making me grumpy. Is making me exceedingly unhappy. And unfortunately is leading to this because fundamentally I started this channel because I believe that we as a community did not have a strong enough voice. Is that there wasn't enough community feedback to be able to provide honest and accountable feedback for the content as it is in the world. That there was too much either sycophantism, there was too much cronyism, and there was just too much basically people just bowing down before whatever crap was spoon-fed to them. Now, I've been accused of a lot of things throughout my career doing this, and I've been doing this now for nigh on 10 years. I've been accused of being a sycophant, I've been accused of being a suck-up, I've been accused of being a lackey to developers, I've been accused of being a troll, I've been accused of being unhappy and apparently disingenuous towards the community. Fundamentally, I have kept one thing to myself every time, across every video that I have ever made, which is that I will give you my honest opinion, and I will look at something objectively, and then I will give you my review of it, and I'll give you my impression of it. Now, this video, this series, the NovaWrap, is about new releases. It's about new release products that are available to you, the user, to you, the simulation community. Most of it is payware, yes, some of it is freeware. I highlight whatever releases I can find, because my hope is that I can show you something that maybe you will enjoy, or that you would like to see, that you would never have thought of or never have found on your own. That's what I want to do, because there are some incredible developers out there making some amazing quality work that nobody ever hears of. And I really love highlighting those. The other side of it, though, is that we have to hold all developers and ourselves as a community to account. So that's why there will be opinion that comes through on this. Now, will I actually do an in-detail, hours-long, several days-long review of everything that features in this NovaWrap? No, I will not. Fundamentally, I don't have the time. I don't have the time to review the stuff that I want to review. And again, my reviews, as they are always done honestly. They are done to serve you as the community as best I can. Now, some people said, oh, you always just rubbish stuff. It's like, no, I don't. I highlight what is good, what is positive, what could improve, and what is downright trash. I will highlight all of those things in these videos because I feel that you as consumers should be aware. Now, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. In fact, I am happy for you to not agree with me, because that means that you are doing your research on your own. Now, in the instances of some of my reviews in the past, that yes, I have made claims, or I have made statements, or I've made reviews which have been turned out to be incorrect. And in each and every one of those cases, I have owned it. I have either apologized, or I have changed, or I've modified the content to reflect my discoveries and my change of opinion. So I'm not an impermeable wall, but I will do what I believe is right for this community, which means I will showcase the best that the community has to offer. I will showcase the great things this community is capable of, and I will also call out the utter BS that is being lifted and thrown at our community, and that we are being forced to deal with. And unfortunately, right now, with the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator, there is a lot of people who are doing nothing except trying to exploit our community and steal from us. Because quite frankly, I think the add-ons content for flight simulation has been overpriced for years. And we have a chance right now. The window is closing rapidly, but we have a chance right now to reset the value proposition, to reset the cost and the pricing of add-ons. We have a chance to do that. For a very brief window at the start, when Microsoft Flight Simulator released, it looked like developers were actually switching on to that and actually going, they are better off. They can still produce high quality content, sell it at a lower price, and get it to more people, and build their brand and build their base and be able to build a better world for us. Unfortunately, what's happened is that there are a large number of new developers and some older developers who are simply foisting on us absolute trash and charging more than ever. And that is wrong. And that is what I will keep highlighting. So, as I said, I want to address some of those concerns that have been out in the community for that one. I said, I hear you, but again, I will keep giving you my opinion because you know what? That's what this show is partially about. Yes, it is about highlighting new releases, and that's its primary purpose, but I will be giving you my expertise and looking at the content as I see it, as it's promoted, because at the end of the day, all the material that I get is stuff that's supposed to be enticing you to buy, to part with your hard-earned time and money to be able to take on their product. And I will use my experience in the simulation world to be able to give you my thoughts on that. And that's what I'm going to keep doing. And there is no better example of how absolute trash and how we have someone who is doing nothing except trying to steal from us, the flight sim user, than we saw this week. This week, I was floored. I was absolutely floored. And this came to us from another one of these brand new out of nowhere developers called Informatica AZ. This is their third product and this is their first aircraft. We've called them out already on this show by calling them out and telling them that their quality of their content, their first two scenery releases, the quality went down and the price went up. Now we see that they've released their first aircraft, and it's a Eurofighter Typhoon. And normally I would be super excited by this, but this is utter trash. This is unbelievable. This is over $20. This $22 is coming in at from the sim market. Now, I literally thought this was, I literally had to check the date and make sure there was no sort of like April Fools of some obscure culture that somebody was trying to play on the community here, because this is unbelievable. So, let's model, let's start with the model. The model is complete trash. They've put external stores on this thing. So for those who may not know, the Eurofighter Typhoon is a 4.5 gen combat aircraft, multi-role combat aircraft, and it serves throughout Europe and throughout many countries around the world. One of its key features, in like many aircraft of its era, is that it has 4 partially recess-mounted in the belly on the fuselage air-to-air missiles or targeting pods. Not only did this developer put the wrong type of missiles on the forward locations for this, it put ASRAMs there instead of AMRAMs. By the way, yes, haha, 10-year-old, yes, an ASRAM is a real thing. Not only did he put ASRAMs there instead of AMRAMs, he put one facing the wrong way round. I mean, seriously. What the actual F? The cockpit is... I can't even describe it. I can't. It literally looks like somebody took a Minecraft mod. It looks like somebody went to Minecraft and said, somebody said in Minecraft, make me a typhoon in Minecraft, typhoon cockpit in Minecraft, and they went, that will work in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Sure, why not? Like, seriously, this thing is so bad. I wanted to laugh at it, but the fact that they're charging money for this as well is disgusting. They've not used any custom avionics. They are all just simply ripped avionics from other aircraft that are already default in the sim. The modeling is atrocious. The texture is just a whole nother level of what the actual F. The the absolute priceless part though that I found about it, apart from the fact that the missiles are facing the wrong way around, was in the notes, and I quote, it has reverse throttle. No. 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 That is not a thing in a combat aircraft. It is not a thing. What are you doing? Like, this is just unacceptable. How? This is why I'm angry. This is why I'm so frustrated right now. And this is why, unfortunately, this series comes across as very negative right now. It's because of trash like this. This is what gives all developers a bad name. This is what will turn off people to our hobby. I want to be able to provide honest commentary and feedback to people, whether you've been in the hobby for 20 years or whether you've been in the hobby for 2 weeks. Okay? You all deserve to know the truth and be on it, get honest information here. But this development and charging money for this kind of stuff, this is what kills our hobby. This is what turns people away. This is what stops our hobby from growing. So I don't want to be this angry. I don't want to call out stuff like this. But we as a community, but I will continue to be honest with the community, and I'll continue to give you feedback and say, this is trash, this is unbelievable, this is unacceptable. And quite frankly, Sim Market should be ashamed of themselves that they even allowed this on their store. The developers should be banned from all sales platforms, should be banned from being able to, quite frankly, should be banned by Microsoft from being able to produce any content for their platform, quite frankly, because this is unconscionable. Unconscionable. It is just not on. It cannot be. For whatever it's worth, it is available over at Sim Market right now. I don't know why you get it, but sure, if you want to have money stolen out of your wallet, go right ahead. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, there you go. That's the end of that particular part. Moving on to the next product, and another product. This one a product that I'm actually kind of really excited about. This is kind of really cool. So this comes to us from seasoned developer Nemeth Designs. Nemeth Designs, I'll be honest, I have a love-hate relationship with Nemeth Designs. I really do. I love their helicopters, but they are so frustrating to work at times. But I have a love-hate relationship with them. But anyway, this is their first product from for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And this is the kind of development that I really want to promote and I really want to push forward, is that we've got a seasoned developer here that's knowing they're not sure about this new sim yet. They're still getting their feet wet. So what they've done is they've picked a project, a fairly basic one, like a lot of developers that we're seeing. They're picking fairly basic aircraft, or fairly sort of non-controversial aircraft, and they're practicing their skills. They're developing their skills. They're developing the tools, and they're exploring to see what's possible with the new sim. And this is a great example of that. So this is their Nemeth Designs rendition of the AeroWorks Aerolite 103, which is a ultralight sportslight aircraft. Ultralight aircraft. It's a really fascinating sort of airframe. There's actually a couple of them operating out of the local airfield near me, actually. Single occupant, piston engine. Essentially, it's just it's basically a lawnmower with wings. But it is such fun to fly, and they are often the gateway to a lot of people as they enter into aviation as well. So they're sort of they're low cost, they're very low cost to run, very affordable, and great for sightseeing. And this is a great chance for this developer to be able to come through and explore and see what's possible in the sim. And as usual, Nemeth Design have brought their incredible attention to detail to the construction of this aircraft and development of this aircraft by providing us with an incredibly highly detailed 3D model, both, well, I would say internally and externally, but there's no internal structure because it's an open air aircraft. But as a highly detailed 3D model with an accurately simulated engine performance and limitations, with a accurately simulated flight dynamics as well. Includes basic instrumentation as it does in the real aircraft, with a variety of liveries included as well. And this is a native from the ground up model for them. This is not anything that's been ported over or anything like that. This is brand new, off the shelf, brand new ground up build for them. As I said, very simple, very basic, complete with animations of the engine and then the engine. A vibration engine operation, as well as full animations of all fuselage controls, instruments, etc., 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 including wing flex as well has been modeled as well in this as well, and it just looks really cool as a neat little thing to be able to do. And this was coming in at $18 or your regional equivalent, available now from Nemeth Designs. In another nifty little aircraft, and also the first release from developer AT Simulations, saw their release this week of their rendition of the MC-15 Cry. Now, this thing, I keep seeing it pop up on all variety of different sims, and I've got to admit that every time I see it, I just can't help but smile. So this is the world's smallest twin-engine aircraft ever made. It's just absolutely nuts. It's designed as a kit aircraft, as a home build, is what it is. You can get it built with the factory if you want, but it is designed to be a home build. Now, this again is the first step of AT Simulations coming into the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. They're getting their feet wet. And it's coming through with a rendition of the aircraft in 3 different models of the aircraft. Now, it is not only is it the smallest twin prop aircraft in the world, it is also the smallest twin jet aircraft in the world for having the 2 tiny little jet engines attached to it as well. Like, it is just so cool. It's so crazy, this thing. It looks like it's straight out of, like, some cartoon, but it's just so cool. Anyway, so yeah, as I said, highly accurate 3D model internally and externally. I get to say this time, including 4K textures throughout, including a custom modeled sound set as well, modeling all of the both different engine variations. As it includes 3 variations, you've got the piston engine variant, the jet engine variant. It also includes a float equipped variant as well as 9 different liveries as well. And it's coming in for a pretty nifty little price, coming in at $15 or your regional equivalent, available now from AT Simulations. Alright, now, after we're talking about the aircraft, we should probably talk about the sim this week as well. So the sim this week had a major update, and this was their second of their world update series. With this week, they saw the release of the USA update. Now, a couple of cool little things I want to call out about this is that unlike... I'll be honest, I was only expecting them to update the lower 48, but what was actually cool is they actually updated all 50 states, which is, I'm actually really impressed that they actually did. As I said, I was really expecting that they were only going to update the lower 48, so the fact that they updated Hawaii and Alaska as well is really awesome. Now, in terms of the highlights, as I said, the highlights of this one, you got 4 new... handcrafted airports. You've got Atlanta International, Friday Harbor, DFW, and New York Stewart International. You get a bucket ton of POIs included, and the one that I'm really going to call out here, because this is the one that for me was incredibly obvious when it was missing, was the fact that Mauna Kea has finally been rendered properly, including all the observatories up the top of Mauna Kea, which, for those of you who don't know, they're all the telescopes, the visual telescopes that sit above on the top of Mauna Kea volcano in the island of Hawaii. So that was the thing. It's a hugely important place to me personally, so I'm really, really happy to see that. In terms of other highlights that have come out as well, includes the Fort Jefferson has been included, the capital area of Washington, White House has been included, the Wright Brothers Memorial has been added in this time. Sault Ste. Marie International Bridge has been modelled as well, which I've driven across many, many times myself. Bunch of dams, including Dvorak, I'm totally sure I've stuffed that up. Hoover Dam, Orville Dam, all included as well as a few other things. So absolutely amazing. Full details on Microsoft's website. Now, a couple of things as well. Just so you know, a lot of people are saying that some people said to say, "Oh, I got it, but I saw the patch, but then I'm not seeing any of these new things of the world update." Okay, so it's a free update, but you actually have to buy it in inverted commas. You have to Go into the in-sim marketplace. You'll see World Updates USA. Click on it. Click Buy Now. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You don't have to put any payment details in, but that's how you acquire it, and then it's downloaded. So there is a base sim update, which is about 12 gig, and then there's the update for the USA pack, which is 4.5 gig. So that's available now for free from the in-sim Microsoft Store. Available now. Continuing on with more Microsoft Flight Simulator releases this week. Saw the release this week from a developer, Azure Poly. Saw the release this week of their rendition of Toulon-Jerez Airport near Toulon in France, near the French Riviera. So this is one of those newer developers for Microsoft Flight Simulator, focusing with all their products being for the new sim. And this rendition of the airport, this one looks pretty good, to be honest. It's an incredibly great price point, and I said looking pretty damn good quality especially for the price point as well. So full airport layout as it appeared in 2020, including a variety of custom items around the airport. So all airport buildings are modelled, and it's also because it's a dual-use airport with both civilian and the French Navy as well. So there's actually some French Navy sort of things scattered around the airport, which is really, really cool to see. As I said, all airport buildings are covered. All must have been detailed with full use of PBR materials. All developed from on-site photographs of the area as well. Provide custom high-quality ground textures, full support of a custom ground poly, as well as a rolling runway textures as well, and a variety of custom vegetation also included. And this one's coming in for about $12 original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with airport releases, this time from the Go developers over at Orbix, releasing their rendition of Niz Constantine the Great International Airport in Serbia. So this is the second busiest airport in Serbia, and the latest from developer Russia Tukachov. Now again, this is a mixed use of both military and civilian airfield, being the home of a variety of low-cost and mainline carriers, as well as providing a use for the military use as well. Now, not only do you get all the airport buildings details, it appears in 2020, including up-to-date layouts, up-to-date taxiways, and all buildings accurately modeled and rendered and textured. You also get the whole cityscape of the nearby city as well. So, which is really, really important because the actual approach to 29 actually goes over the top of the city. So you actually get a huge amount of detail there, including a lot of the visual indicators that you do need when you're coming in for the approach, including all major churches are included as well as a variety of other custom details included as well. Now this is looking incredibly detailed, high resolution textures throughout as well, through full support for PBR materials and sloped runways, optimization, and all the good stuff that we expect from Orbix. And as I said, this is coming in for about $17 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Continuing on with airport releases, and another first for a first time Microsoft Flight Sim developer, SimWorks Studios dipping their toes into the new sim with a really cool little package. This one, so this is Meia Vila de Luz Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator, which is a Portuguese GA airport that's been done in absolutely stunning detail. But it's more than just the airport, which is what I'm really liking about this particular add-on. So this particular airport is, as I said, it's a GA pilot. It's a GA field with a couple of flight training schools there as well. And the airport was done as it's laid out during 2020, including high-resolution textures, high-detail buildings, high-detail 3D models of all airport buildings. Includes a custom tunnel as well near the threshold of runway 16, which is kind of cool. Custom detailed interior of all major buildings, including hangars that you can actually spawn inside of as well, which is kind of cool. But it's the bonus stuff that comes in here as well, which is kind of awesome as well. They've added in some landmarks, including Torre de la Dor, which is the main town hall, as well as a couple of other landmarks as well. And they've actually included that not only because it's a major visual landmark for visual ops in and out of this field, but they've also added it as a landmark marker in the map as well. Like, that's kind of cool. As I said, it's a thing that other devs need to do. Orbix. Anyway, but it's very good to see these guys doing this one as well. The other thing that's come through that I really like about this is that this add-on was developed in partnership with Area 77 Simulations and the Porto Aero Club, which is one of the flight schools and aero clubs which is actually resident at this field. And along with the actual airport, you also get custom textures for the Cessna 152, the Cessna 172, and the Savage Cub, all in the colors of that local aero club. I really love the holistic approach that SimWorks Studios took to this add-on. Like, this is so cool. Like, I really love the holistic approach they took to this one. So yeah, I just really want to give a shout out for this one. This is coming in at $15 or your regional equivalent, available now from SimWorks Studios. Continuing on with scenery releases this week, and this one is a freeware release from one of my favorite developers. So this comes to us from Ants Airplanes. So Ants Airplanes is an Australian developer. He's been around for many years. He's been producing a huge variety of content over the years, including both scenery and aircraft for the ESP family of sims. He is also now dipping his toes into Microsoft Flight Simulator with releasing his first set of his Ants Aussie airports. Now, these are a combination of port over and sort of updates to the new technology, the new sims, so he's still playing with it and having a look around it at the moment. He's just released 2 airfields. He's released one very close to me, actually, funnily enough. So he's released his rendition of Evans Head and also of Palmer's Island, both Australian destinations. He's done some really cool stuff with it as well, including adding in the aviation museum that's actually located at Evans Head as well, which is really cool. So great to see Ant actually coming over onto the new sim. Looking forward to seeing his other great scenes, because he were always my I was always such a fan of all the great stuff that he makes, and I would just always love flying at his airports. They were like the number one, like the first thing I would install after I ever did a reinstall of FSX or Prepared, was be his airport. So it's great to see him coming over the new sim. As I said, these are coming in, as I said, 2 new airports available for free from antsairplanes.com. Continuing on with more scenery releases this week from developer Northern Sky Studio, another new developer just doing content for Microsoft Flight Simulator, with their release of Kenai, a municipal airport this week, which is a airport in Alaska, which is one of those areas that I'm glad to see have got a bit more love in the release of the new update from Microsoft. Now, this is a rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020, including up-to-date layouts of the taxiways, airport buildings, including the brand new main terminal building, just finished this year. All buildings modeled in high-resolution 3D models with high-detailed, high-resolution textures and full code use of PBR throughout, as well, and looking custom ortho for the airport and surrounding areas. Looking at this one looks pretty good. I mean, the airport buildings all look pretty good. I think but it is just the airport though. So again, nothing wrong with that. It's it has stuff on the immediate surrounds, like right butting up against the airport fence, but nothing else. Otherwise, yeah, I've got to say that the overall looks pretty good. The quality of the photo reel looks mixed, but overall the building and the 3D modeling work looks absolutely amazing. So I highly recommend that one. So this one's coming in a little pricey, coming in at $22 or your original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. In another release of Microsoft Flight Simulator from developer BDO Aviation, dipping their toes into Microsoft Flight Simulator with their release this week of Francisco Bangalore International Airport in the Philippines. So it's really kind of interesting, this one. So this one's a port. So this one is a straight port over from their prepared version of this scenery, which came out not that long ago. But overall, I think I would say it's not as I did say it was a straight port. I don't think it is, actually. Like, I do think that the developer, you can actually tell the developer's gone through and actually updated a lot of the ground polys and textures to actually sort of give it the best that it can. Again, though, looking at some of the approach corridor, I think where it lets it down though is at the edges of the airport. So on Short Final, for example, you don't have any of the lighting towers or any of the the lighting towers that sort of, or the raised lighting towers as you would expect to see. Like, you can see them in the photo reel, but they're not modeled there. So I mean, the main terminal buildings and the taxiway textures look absolutely gorgeous. They look great. For you to tell full use of PBR throughout, which is great to see. It just gets let down as you move further away from that main terminal building. I think it's the only thing that I observe here looking at this one. Now, if you are a new user for this one, you're looking at paying about $17 for this one from SimMarket. If you're an existing owner of their earlier release of it for Prepared, you get about a $5 discount available now from SimMarket. Continuing on with scenery releases this week from this one from Tabaret. I saw the release in this rendition of St Mary's Iliand Airport. So I'm not 100% sure what's going on with this one. The description for this is very vague, and I don't know whether they've just updated the airport or whether they've done the island as well. I'll be honest. So this is yeah, I mean, some of the screenshots looks like they've overhauled the whole island, but as I said, like the description is just so vague and just gives you nothing to work with. The airport, the buildings though, the airport buildings look great. They look like the custom content come through there, looking really, really good. Terminal building model pretty well, and the GA hangars nearby as well, all looking pretty damn good. So, I mean, that part looks good, but I don't know whether, as I said, I just don't know whether it updates the island as well, or is it just updated the airport. Don't know. Tabaret, you need to update your descriptions better, guys. You really do. Anyway, if you want to pick this one up, looking at $15 or original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. And now another couple of releases from Tabaret to round out the Microsoft Flight Simulator releases this week were two. I never know what to call them with these ones with Tabaret. Okay, so the first one, it was a couple of like, shall we say, landmark packs, city packs? Shall we say that? Okay, so the first one is Charlotte, the city of Charlotte. Now, this one essentially seems to be that it's a landmark pack where they've added in all the major buildings downtown. That seems to be all they've done. But they haven't included night lighting for it. But yeah, so that's kind of it, I think. Yeah, that's I got nothing else to say about it. As I said, unfortunately, again, the description just says complete replacement for downtown major. These include high-rise and low-rise buildings. So I'm assuming it's just all the major buildings downtown have been given custom models. But I can't really tell much more, and most of the shots are fairly far away. So yeah, buy beware. Coming in at $15 or original equivalent, available from SimMarket. The other release from Tabaret was the Baltimore City Pack. Now, this one is really weird, this one. So this is one of the photogrammetry cities that ships with Microsoft Flight Simulator. And the developer says, again down here, it's like they copy-paste their descriptions. This includes replacement for downtown major buildings and nightlights. Okay. Then it goes on to talk about that it's redone the river basin to show the default coastline and photogrammetry correctly. Okay. But it's so light on detail, this description. I really just don't know what it's really giving me. And at the end of the day, as I said, it is still a photogrammetry city, so I'm still looking at all the quirks that we get with photogrammetry. So I don't know how much of a bonus this is over the photogrammetry that you get with the sim. I honestly don't know because the screenshots are very vague. Then nothing in the descriptions doesn't really highlight much. So if you want to pick this one up, as I said, $15 original equivalent, available now from SimMarket. And that rounds out Microsoft Flight Simulator release news, moving into the world of X-Plane 11 now, with the release from Digital Design this week of their rendition of Liverpool John Lennon Airport this week. So this is obviously a pretty well, obviously the name is obviously very famous, and I have to admit I love the fact that they actually modelled the yellow submarine in on the road into the airport. I need to go to that airport just to see that. Anyway, moving on. Okay, so this is a high detail rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020, including all buildings modelled, including including buildings surrounding the area as well, including major landmarks, including airport hotels and other major airport buildings non-airport buildings that you use for visual visual approaches to the airport. It includes full use of PBR materials throughout all major airport buildings, high resolution ground terrain coverage out for both inside and outside, including custom autogen for the City of Liverpool included as well. So a lot going on with this content, and is also designed to work seamlessly with Orbix's True Earth Great Britain Central as well. And this one's coming in for about $25 US or your regional equivalent, available now from Digital Design. Continuing on with X-Plane 11 releases and another release from Orb. Speaking of Orbix, with the Orbix Stables, with their release of the Newcastle International Airport in Newcastle upon Tyne. This is a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2020, including up-to-date ground layout, full use of high-resolution textures, and full use of PBR throughout all major airport buildings. All airport buildings are modelled. Airport layout is accurate for 2020, including a high-resolution 30cm per pixel photo reel for the airport and surrounding areas. Includes full support for it includes full PBR ground service equipment as well as a full support for SAM animated jetways as well, and designed to be compatible with True Earth Great Britain Central. And I've got to say, the night lighting for this as well looks pretty damn awesome. And this one's coming in for $20 US or original equivalent, available now from Orbix. And an interesting release this week from developer H Simulators saw the release this week of their Antarctica Mega Scenery. Now, this is a really interesting one. So this is a part of the world that's not normally covered. So X-Plane doesn't cover the Arctic or Antarctic circles. It just flat out just doesn't cover them. And this developer's been lurking around for a while, and sort of with the intent of actually sort of filling that gap left by Laminar Research. And this rendition is a mega scenery covering all of the Antarctic continent, and aiming to include all of the major research stations. Now, out of the box, this one includes quite a few out of the box, and they've committed to making a whole heap more eventually. Now, as I said, they've renditioned a variety, including D85 Skyway, Davis Plateau, Davis Sea Ice, Cohen Station, Halley 6 Station, Marbarino, Marazulucci, Mawson Station, McMurdo Station, Ice Runways. Like, there's a stack of stuff that's already done here. Pegasus Airfield, Phoenix Airfield also done as well. They've all been done in custom models, including all custom 3D models based off photos of the real sites, including all the detritus you expect to see there and all the challenging conditions that you'll have when flying to them. They've also included some others in sort of light format at the moment, which they're calling 2D sceneries at the moment, but they've committed to updating those to full 3D, high resolution, high detail content as well, for all of those airports as well. Those ones include that are still sort of half done at the moment are Troll Station, Petrol Station, Progress Station, Vostok Station, and several others as well. So it's really great to see that this developer sort of, got a lot done already, and have provided a guiding roadmap to what they're going to further develop into as well. Now, this one's normally $30, but coming in at 50% off for a launch special for $15 US, available now from H Simulations. Continuing on with more scenery releases, this time we're heading to Alaska with a release this week from DC Sceneries with their release of Petersburg James A. Johnson Airport in Alaska, which is a cool, neat little, small little GA field, which this developer really does specialize in. It's not a GA field. It does have a regular 737 service coming to it as well. So it is, like I said, it's a great, I guess really, all airports in Alaska are GA airports, aren't they? But yeah, this one does have a 737 service, so it will offer a challenge, whether you're a GA pilot or whether you're a tubeliner pilot, there will be a challenge available for you here. Now, this release includes high-definition ground textures, high-definition 3D models of all airport buildings and objects, including accurate, high-detailed, high-resolution textures with full PBR support as well. Accurate layout of the airport and all airport buildings, taxiways, and runways as it is per 2020, then fully compatible with orthophotos and Vulcan services as well. And you can pick this one up from explain.org for $12 US or original equivalent, available now. And another release for X-Plane 11 with a release that I really like. I think this release is cool. And I really hope to see this make its way onto Microsoft Flight Simulator. I really, really do. So this week we saw the release from Sam Sceneries of the Follow Me add-on, which basically does exactly what it says on the tin. So when you land, I mean, for me, for example, I really enjoy the taxi ribbon feature of Microsoft Flight Simulator because I don't know, I don't have airport charts. So if somebody tells me to taxi over a bunch of things, I don't have the airport charts. I don't know where I'm going. So I turn the taxi ribbon on. This would be a cool add-on add in to that allows you to have that without necessarily breaking the immersion in inverted commas. So what this does is that this basically spawns in a follow me vehicle as you exit the runway, which will then guide you to your designated parking space. And then once you get to your parking space, it transitions to a 3D marshaller who will actually guide you in and stop you at the correct place on the apron. So which is incredibly awesome. So you see, you got a couple of different operations on there. You got realistic driving behavior of across the taxi network, of the default taxi network, and also supports both default airports and custom airports as well. Two main operation modes, which is target speed with automatic distance tracking, acceleration, deceleration, or fixed distance according to user aircraft speed. So it depends on how you want to be able to fly and do that as well. As I said, custom scenery support, looking amazing, available now from your favorite flight sim retailer for $20 or available now. Moving out of the Explain world and moving into the world of Prepared, saw a couple of releases this week. The first one from developer Just Flight with a release that I'm not going to lie, I've been awaiting for a really long time because I love this aeroplane. Like, I remember, so this week we saw the release of their Just Flight BAE 146 Professional. Now, this was one of my first, the old version of this was one of my first pieces of payware that I ever purchased. And I absolutely love it. I still remember flying in a 146. And it's just, I love the airplane. There's just something about it. I don't know what it is, but I just absolutely love this aeroplane. I always have. Now, this rendition of this aircraft is incredibly detailed as well. It includes includes 8 different variants of this aircraft in exquisite detail, including the 100, 200, 300 passenger variants, the 200 quick change and quick transport versions, the 300 quick transport version, the Royal Air Force C Mark II, C Mark III transporter, and C Mark II VIP Royal Flight are included as this as well. So there's a lot going on this one. Incredibly accurately detailed and models interior and exterior model, including accurate renditions of all of the different versions that we just mentioned. Includes inside the cockpit, all the systems have been accurately modeled with both captains and first officer positions done with with hundreds of functional switches, knobs, and controls, fully 3D interactive cockpit environment, and all systems modeled accurately as best as possible using the sim. Also includes full support for PBR textures and 4K and above textures throughout as well. So this is looking absolutely amazing. Looks incredible. I can't wait to get my hands on it. The one thing is though is that it is also the most expensive release that Just Flight have ever put out. This is coming in. I did almost choke at this price though. I have to admit, I love it. I think it looks awesome, but the price tag, oof. $85 for this one. $85 for this one, available now from Just Flight. And another release for the Prepared world. The Just Flight the 146. It is a Prepared V4 and V5 exclusive. I'm afraid it is only going to be around for the new Sims. So F6 guys, sorry, you're out of luck with this one. Alright, moving on to the other release for Prepared World this week. So the release from Celestial Team 2. So the release this week of their rendition of Shenyang Taxon International Airport in the south of Shenyang City in Lahong Province in China. Not a lot to describe about this add-on. Like, there's not a lot sort of in the description of it. It looks like it's got support for SOD jetways. Looks like it has full, all the airport layout as it appears in 2020. I'm guessing. These guys sort of focus on Chinese airports, so as I said, it looks pretty good. The photo reel it sits on looks a bit mixed. Otherwise, the buildings look good. Lighting looks pretty good on the main terminal, that's for sure. But otherwise, it's pretty much probably the only airport you're going to get for this one. So if you want to pick this one up, you're looking at $20 or original equivalent, available now from Sim Market. moving out of the flight simulation world and moving into the world of Train Simulator. So this week they released for Train Simulator of the release of their South Wales Coastal Bristol to Swansea route add-on this week. So this is a rail route that directly connects England to Wales and was originally constructed in the 1800s. This rendition of the route, of this 85 miles of route, though, is set during about 2016, when before the overhead wires were installed on the main line to carve it, making still diesel trains were still the primary route going across here. Now, this includes a variety of content coming through here, and includes 85 miles of track covered from Bristol Temple Meads to Swansea. Includes a variety of stations, all included in custom high detail. Includes 4 different trains, including the British Rail Class 175, 43, Class 70, and Class 67, and a variety of rolling stock, including BYA, MXA, FEA, HHA, and KTA wagons, and the GUV and Mark 1 BG mail coaches, all included as well. Also includes 18 career scenarios for your train simulation pleasure, and this one's coming in at $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Moving out of the world of Train Simulator and moving into Train Sim World 2, saw this week the release of their latest train for that new platform of the CSX C40-8W. Now, this is a highly detailed rendition of General Electric's C48W, more commonly known as the -840CW, apparently, and it's a train that was produced during 1989 to 1994. And was a major sort of hauler for CSX. This is delivered to us in the CSX's attractive YN2 livery, and is authentically suited for duty on the sand patch grade. So this is a highly detailed rendition of this train, including a 3-bay hopper in the CSX livery with accurate true-to-life performance and handling, with a highly detailed, feature-rich, accurate driving cab with true-to-life performance and handling. Includes 3 engaging scenarios, as well as an interactive training module as well, all produced and designed for use with the new sim. And this one's coming in at $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, rounding out the NovaWrap for this week was all the release for Ride 4 of their latest piece of DLC, or the release of their Sports Bikes 101 DLC. So this brings to life 5 exclusive bikes, including the Aprilia RSV4, the Honda CBR 300R, the Kawasaki Ninja ZX6R, the MV Augusta F3 675, and the Yamaha YZF R1. It also includes 10 extra events, all brought to us for this new sim. I really don't have much to say about this more than that, because Milestone are terrible, again, like another one of those developers that are terrible at giving information about their products. Anyway, if you want to pick this up for your favorite platform, whether it be PC or console, available now for about $5 or original equivalent, available now from your favorite store. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.